I want to give a shout out to SportsFan1. I was talking to SportsFan yesterday, and what we were talking about really inspired this video. We were talking about Tyson Fury and the kind of overall trajectory that he is on in terms of his performances. And now, you guys who are subscribed to this channel will know that I love a technical breakdown, a tactical study, the strategy, and really dissecting things and reverse engineering them to see the thought process behind it. All that kind of stuff, the stuff you can see. But every now and then we do have to revisit what comes before all of that. And that is the sports psychology, the boxing psychology, what is happening in the mind. And that's what we were talking about. We were talking about the mind of Tyson Fury. And in a roundabout way, I outlined how Tyson Fury's greatest strength is his mind, but his mind is also his biggest weakness. And so that's what I want to explore today. Some people may take issue with this video. Some people may straight up dislike this video. That's perfectly fine. This is just my interpretation of the psychology of Tyson Fury. And now Tyson Fury is a very special fighter. I don't think anyone other than devout Deontay Wilder haters or AJ fanboys are going to disagree with that. But this is a video for the objective boxing fans. Tyson Fury is a very naturally talented fighter. Some may even say he's the most naturally talented fighter at heavyweight and has been for a very long time. And now that is a statement I probably agree with. And we have to look, where does that natural talent come from? So Tyson Fury, there's a saying, let me say this. There's a saying that you know who your true friends are in a crisis. And so we can extrapolate that saying because it applies to boxing as well. You find out who a person is, or who a fighter is in a crisis. Now, Tyson Fury has had, let's say, many crises in his career. This is someone who is no stranger to the canvas. This is someone who's been in there with two all-time great heavyweight punchers in Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. And he's taken clean punches from them. And now, what do we see from Tyson Fury when he's in these situations? You see a man who's so assured, he has so much confidence in his fighting instinct that he doesn't panic, he doesn't fret. He's taken a punch. Okay, I can't go back in time and stop myself from taking that punch, but I can get up, I can dust myself off, and I can go at it. I can go get that punch back. And now that's the thing, because a lot of people are going to say, oh no, well, that's not his instinct, that's not his mind, that's his chin. You know, his chin allows him to do that. Well, partially, yeah, of course. You can't have a chin like wet paper and expect to get up after being hit by, you know, the likes of Deontay Wilder. Of course not. But Tyson Fury, he obviously has a good amount of punch defense, or punch resistance rather, but he's not flustered, he's not panicked. And you know what that indicates? That someone is fully immersed in the culture of fighting, because they understand that comes with the territory. They understand that I'm going to go into this ring and I'm going to get hit at some point. I'm going to reduce it, but I'm going to get hit at some point. I have to be ready. I cannot afford to panic. And so when you compare this to someone like an Anthony Joshua, now Anthony Joshua is someone who I rate just as high as I rate Tyson Fury, but for different reasons. Anthony Joshua is, in my eyes, well, he has the best resume at heavyweight. I certainly say that. But Anthony Joshua doesn't have the same fighting instinct as Tyson Fury. And we see this because when Anthony Joshua gets hit, even if he's not knocked down, but if he takes a clean punch, you see him, he has to steady himself for a few seconds. He's not able to flow with the punches. physically, but mentally deal with the prospect of a crisis. Oh, this could all go very wrong. How do I reverse it? How do I think on the fly? Anthony Joshua doesn't seem to have that. And now I've made this comparison in the past where I believe that Anthony Joshua is, because Anthony Joshua is he's very special mentally in his own right and very special physically, very gifted athlete. With those mental and physical gifts he has, I've said that Anthony Joshua is the kind of athlete who can go into any sport of his choosing, and as long as he's dedicated to it, he'll have success. He just happens to be a boxer. He happens to choose boxing. And you can't criticize him too much because he's done very well for himself. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, he is bred to fight. This is a fighting man. I'm starting to sound like Tyson Fury with the fighting man business, but it's true. This is someone who is built for boxing. He's built for combat. And now, that doesn't mean he's invincible, but it means that when Tyson Fury is in a boxing ring and his instincts are firing on all cylinders, you're going to see the very best out of him. And so that is probably his quality that sets him apart from the rest, is his fighting instinct and his mind, his ability to stay calm under pressure. Not only that, but to adapt. This isn't working. Look at the Steve Cunningham fight. Look at how Tyson Fury starts that fight. He gets knocked down. Look how he finishes that fight. It takes a degree of fighting instinct. How many times have we seen fighters not adapt in the ring, despite the fact they're having no success? You need to have that fighting instinct. But I can't spend this entire video focusing on the strength of Tyson Fury, in that instinct, in that fighting mindset that he has inside the ring. Outside the ring, this is where it flips. And you could say that is an analogy. It represents Tyson Fury himself, because this is someone who has a history of being bipolar, having a polarized mind, being manic, being depressed. And then outside the ring, we see the Tyson Fury who is a very emotional character and seemingly is sometimes fighting an uphill battle to maintain those emotions, to control those emotions, to the point where when he starts to lose that battle, he's falling into depression. He's abusing drugs and alcohol. He's abusing food, blowing up in weight. And now that shows that, yeah, these are physical crutches in the substance abuse and the food, blowing up in weight. These are physical crutches, but that's because the problems are in the mind. Tyson Fury, he's struggling to control himself. And there could be a plethora of reasons why. Reasons that maybe Tyson Fury doesn't even know himself. But the moral of the story is, despite how finely tuned Tyson Fury's fighting instincts are in the ring, his psychological shortcomings and his lack of discipline outside the ring, because that's where Tyson Fury's weaknesses come from. It's the lack of discipline, the lack of emotional management, which lead to the problems, lead to the weight gain, lead to the inactivity. That stress is then placed on Tyson Fury's body, accelerating the aging process of it. Tyson Fury, he's in his early 30s? I'm telling you, if you cut Tyson Fury down the middle, very gruesome, I know, but if you looked at the cross-section of his body, you looked at his insides, I'm sure he doesn't have the insides of someone in their early 30s. His body's been worn down from all the years of lacking discipline and having those emotional rough patches where he's going to drink, going to drugs. And whether you like it or not, I understand a lot of Tyson Fury fans are going to take issue with this and they're not going to want to hear it, but it's the truth. That will knock years off Tyson Fury's career. And this only further cements the point I made in the post-fight video, is that Tyson Fury, his time is coming. We've seen Deontay Wilder lose twice. We've seen Anthony Joshua lose twice. We will see Tyson Fury lose if he continues to fight for any considerable length of time. And there's no shame in that, because he's in a very competitive division and he has these weaknesses. Nobody's perfect. Because this is not an assassination of Tyson Fury's character, because there is a lot of stigma around men's mental health, especially. This is just highlighting that we're dealing with human beings. No human being is perfect. No human being is infallible. And Tyson Fury, he's just a human being. And so, as such, he's susceptible to a lot of things a lot of human beings are. So that's just the point I wanted to make with this video. Because, as I say, Tyson Fury is a spectacular talent. But as talented as he is, his greatest strength happens to be his biggest weakness as well. So that's just what I wanted to explore in this video. It's going to be very interesting to see the journey of Tyson Fury going forwards. I mean, he's been around for years, but it's almost like it's only recently Tyson Fury has reached the peak in his career, despite the Klitschko win, despite drawing with Wilder, despite beating Wilder and now beating Wilder again. It's a very, very interesting and entertaining career to keep tabs on. So let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think of the points I've made in this video? Are there any points that you feel are important that I've missed out? Drop your comments in the comment section below. If you could like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.